ladies and gentlemen. I believe he is in tomorrow's Royal Rumble, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN
Unlimited.
Our tribal chief, the only tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Yeah!
What an artist. What a transition. Yeah, only you. You know what I mean? That's why you're the man. That's why they pay. I was gonna say us, and it is true, it is us, but it's about you right now. That's why they pay you the big bucks.
No, we. But yes, we did go from a team punting on a season to a man who's never punted on anything. You know, a man who takes everything serious. That is why you have climbed yourself to the top of an industry that only a few have been to the top of. You have obviously taken the top of a mountain and raised its altitude somehow to a whole nother level. And now it appears as if we are on the hunt back to the top of said mountain. What does tomorrow look like for Roman Reigns? Obviously, I don't know, this Vision crew, you know, I don't like what they got going on. Okay, they're already talking about being a team in there and beating the hell out of everybody. What is the plan tomorrow? I know you're smarter than everybody. Are we winning this thing? And should we be confident in saying our tribal chief is back?
I didn't come all the way out here for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is from Miami, this is a long travel day. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to pull this off in over 10 years now. For the longest, I felt like I was like the gatekeeper, the runner-up guy. You know, they would spam me and try to get that big pop for the baby face or whatever. But I don't know. This feels like me. It feels like me, and I think there's so many different, you know, fingers and different signs pointing to this. I think we're at a place where our fans are demanding more. You know what I mean? I set us up. I put us in position, you know, to be fulfilled in the promised land, to be in a position to break records and make ungodly amount of money. And we're at that point that our fans are craving that. So, and they already know it's a proof of concept with me. They know what they're getting with me.
Man, those were the good old days, weren't they? Not too long ago, Roman. Those were good old days, weren't they?
It was a good time, man, but we can't rest on the past. I mean, literally, you know what I mean? When you have a hell of a run like that, I could just sit and rest on my laurels and just let the dump truck continue to let that money flow. But I wanna push, man. I have 4 sons. My daughter, you know, she's just entering adulthood. I want to continue to create a mountain so big they'll never get out of my shadow. I want to make it tough for them because they're privileged children. You know, your children are going to be the same way. So we have to create obstacles. We have to create this adversity for them. And why not do it through my success? You know what I mean?
Yeah, goat talk real quick. Yeah, just say, this is what's happening in this family. This is what's possible, okay? In this bloodline.
That's right.
This is the opportunity. You're going to have to work your ass off for it. Speaking of, we just showed some clips of you walking out there. Hey, Us. Hey, how do we feel right now? Where are we at, what weight-wise? Because we've seen a couple different, we've seen Powerhouse, and then we've seen like shredded, a little quicker, still Powerhouse. But you know what Roman is entering the Rumble tomorrow?
Well, we're always strong, no matter. That's just
right.
genetics.
Right.
And that's from a lot of work. That's compounded time in the gym. So we're always strong. But yeah, we can always come in a little tighter. It just depends. This is the Royal Rumble. You know, the objective of the game is to not get thrown out. So you want to have a good low center of gravity. You got to be able to squat down and hold on to that rope if need be. But it's the same for me, wreck everybody and leave. The jet's going to be fired up, ready to get me up out of here. But yeah, I mean, I've been working. We're coming off of winter break, you know what I mean? Oktoberfest right into holiday season.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've been grinding it out, but I'm a human, you know what I mean?
Football season's tough.
But we look all right. We'll look all right. But going into Mania, that's the beauty of this is we have so much time to Mania. So we're just going to cruise right in and be comfortable.
Okay. Where are you right now? Is that room, gym? I assume you just live in the place where you're just only going to get greater all the time. I assume hyperbaric chambers right over yonder. I assume, you know, we got a couple.
You must have heard. We got all that down here. Yeah, they got it set up. The gym here is special. They got cold tub. They got infrared sauna. They got Normatex and red light. You're missing it, man. Yeah. Riyadh's not messing around this time. But yeah, I've already been to the gym twice today. I'm going to go back later to try to grind it out before I go to bed to wear myself down. But yeah, that's what it is. We're on 3 days now, full camp type mode. You know what I mean? Getting ready. So we'll bring in a solid package tomorrow night. You know, a winning package. But then that main is gonna get ridiculous.
What time is it over there right now? What is the time difference?
It's tribal chief time. Baby, come on now. Nah, it's almost 9. It's AP time, black ceramic. That's what time it is.
Yeah. Obviously, keep living, keep living. Okay, we found out via a random FaceTime the other day about an entrant in Royal Rumble. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, my tribal chief, I acknowledge as always. But yeah, Brock Lesnar being in the Rumble, that was news to us, news to you perhaps. Is there any plans with Brock that you have? Is there a possibly a you and Brock together kind of take out the vision, take out the wise man's boys after he kind of threw you guys aside, you threw him aside? And of course, the tribal thief, I hate this guy because of what he's doing and the word puns he's doing. Do you guys have specific plans, or do you have a specific plan with Lesnar in the Rumble tomorrow?
I'm still caught up on the fact that Brock knows how to work FaceTime. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just, that's tripping me. I didn't even know he had a phone. I figured, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was like old school. You had to call the farm, and then like the farm hand would come, and then he would go to the like lead farm guy, and then, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm surprised he even works the phone. But no, there's no way I can work with Brock. I mean, he's one of my greatest rivals. I can't trust that guy. He was literally just competing with all the Vision boys and all them. And I mean, talk about a group who just
say it.
Talk about the name. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going. They can't see clearly at all. Vision's probably that's a Seth Rollins where they probably need to have a rebranding right now. But there's a lot of young talent there, and they're physically impressive. Even Logan, you know what I mean? For someone who wasn't a professional athlete or a D1 guy, he's a hell of an athlete. He was popping me though he's just flexing
on the show. Yeah, unbelievable. Me too. He would see
he
himself
was just flexing it up, man. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, he was feeling it, but he's a hell of a personality. Bronson Reed, he's confused. He should already be acknowledging the trade. He should just bow down to Caesar is what he should do and align properly. He's confused, but sometimes that happens.
Tsunami,
and
sir?
then Breaker.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine if I had that at my disposal, just, you know what I mean?
Right to the top, he would go too. He would go right to the...
we would find every type of balcony we could drop him off and kill everybody. It would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bron Breakker, I heard
maybe one day I will wield the sword of the tribal thief. Who knows? Maybe he'll be taking direction one day, but we got a lot of footage to climb. We're not there yet.
You mentioned Bron Breakker before I stopped you there, and I apologize for that because the dogs are barking in Riyadh. We were watching this morning at the pre-show. Michael Cole hosted out there. Dogs are barking in Riyadh. Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman has said, going to be WrestleMania, I believe, next year, year after that, year after that, year after that, year after that. This is... I was lucky to be there at the beginning of the entire ride, and I saw he's explosive. I mean, his spear.
Yeah.
Oh, his spear.
Cuts people in half.
Oh, my God. His spear. They're saying maybe best spear in the history of...
Who's saying that?
I didn't say it. I'm just telling you what people were saying. I didn't say this.
That's a lie.
I didn't say this.
If I was a young, insignificant performer, then I would take, a little bit of offense, or I would feel some... competitive nature about that, but a finishing move is a finishing move. I'm such a different type of performer. I'm on a whole different level. We're talking about finisher. We're talking about the spirit, bro. Come on now. Like you're talking to Mozart here. I create real art. It's not just about running down a ramp and flying through there and hitting somebody. But he's a great athlete. I mean, but we all are. You know what I mean? And as you get older, you got to evolve. You got to learn all the different nuances to this game. You got to sharpen every blade in your set. So I think Breaker's got a hell of a future in front of him as long as he kind of stays out of my wheelhouse of what I'm trying to do. I think he'll be all right. But he's still got a long ways to go. I'd love to see him not get nervous on ESPN and, get quiet on you, because I think there's a lot of personality there.
What's
But
your problem?
hey, it takes time, bro.
I agree.
What? I can't. I gotta jab back now. I gotta fight back. You know, we can't just let these kids are calling us old and shit. You know what I mean? So I gotta, you know what I mean? We gotta come back. Don't get nervous on national television, son. You know what I mean?
That was awesome. Yeah, so
But
complimentary.
not even national. This is global. This is Pat McAfee. You can't. You know what I mean?
You're in Saudi Arabia right now. This is pretty crazy to us. This is a pretty crazy situation that's taking place. And we're obviously very grateful for our tribal chief making time for us.
Hell yeah.
Every time you're on our show, you're electrifying, you're awesome. And there's a reason why, you know, there's a Mount Rushmore 4. There's a Mount Rushmore 4. And then there's a mountain that's being built, you know, on the other side, all by its damn self. And on that note, Ty has a question for you for tomorrow.
Yeah, Roman, I would agree with Connor. I just real quick would like to acknowledge my tribal chief as well, if everyone here wants to do it.
Sir.
Thank you. I'm just curious. You said, okay, so like there is some good talent in the WWE right now, but do you kind of just notice like, hey, you know what? I think it's time. I got to come back this weekend, make everyone kiss the ring, and kind of acknowledge that, like, yeah, you know, hey, the Vision, that's the cool new thing. Seth Rollins is on. He's doing the car wash on every single channel on TV right now. I've seen him 50,000 times over the last 3 days, but is it nice every once in a while?
Just grasping on the relevancy, right?
Well,
just please see me.
And it's the same thing, because we kind of had the same conversation when we were in Vegas last year for WrestleMania. But do you kind of just pick and choose and let people know, like, okay, hey, you guys can kind of do your thing, but when I come back, when the big dog comes back into town, like, this is my show, and it will always be my show?
I think, you know, I mean, there's always a mindset of that, you know, but to be completely honest and transparent here, you know, 2 years ago, it all changed around. And, you know, what I've been doing out there hasn't exactly been the same of what I've done before. And the way I look at it is I'm a generous tribal chief. I give the people plenty of time. These young talent, get over, kids. Yeah. Get over. You know what I mean? And we're 2 years here now. And we haven't advanced. We haven't evolved. You know what I mean? We have great leadership. And Nick Cotton, God bless him, what a businessman. He's a genius. But we have to be able to keep up with that creatively. And that's why people like me, people who are striving to be the very best, the greatest, the GOATs, the MJs, I just can't sit around and see mediocrity. Not when I set it up for everybody to just slam it home. I mean, we're on Netflix, for crying out loud. You gotta capitalize. We got people over here playing around trying to figure it out. And I got the formula. I know how to cook it up. You know what I mean? So it's been a tough couple of years for me, but at the same time, when you come off such a hell of a run, you gotta kind of just pump the brakes for a second. I got 5 children at home. I wear, you know, we all wear those 2 important hats, being a husband and a father. You got to be able to, you know, click. And I've been on the road for a long time. So I needed to be able to pull back a little bit, but I'm fully capable. I'm only 40 years old. With all the tech and all the information we have now, I feel like I'm 25 years old. So I'm still good to go. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate you doing your schedule to help the other talent, not yourself. Because obviously, if you wanted to help yourself,
it's a help them help me. We're all helping each other. You know what I mean?
Of course, it's good for all parties.
But like I said, you gotta get the reps. Got to get the reps.
And also, go ahead, come on. Yeah, you know, that's the business. That's been the business.
Yeah. It's anytime now. You know what I mean? Like
that's been the business. That has been the business. You know, people said it before you hit your entire thing. You know, Cena. Hey, who? You know, and then before that. It was obviously Rock or Austin.
Yeah, Rock, Austin.
One of them, you know, and before that it was, you know, Hall and whatever. And then before that it was, you know, so it feels like that has always been this business, you know. And I want to let you know the fact that you just dropped the whole I'm 40 and I still got a lot of time left. That's good news for the business.
Yes, it is.
Hey, that's good news for the business, Roman. And I like what I'm hearing out of you. It sounds like we're about to maybe go on one of these types of runs again that are going to be talked about in documentaries 20 years from now. Is that what we're feeling? Is that how the body feels? Is that how the mental kind of aligns right now?
Always capable. Always capable. You know what I mean? Like that's just built in, just staying ready, you know. what else am I going to do? This is what I do. This is my livelihood. This is how I feed my children. This is how, I create the abundance. So why not stay in shape? Why not stay mentally sharp and in tune with the game? This is my family's art form. That's why it's so important to me. That's why I'm not BSing when I'm talking about representing my legacy, furthering our story, taking our book to different levels and being able to create different chapters. And if I'm able to do it at the highest level, inspire my family members to follow my lead, can't nobody stop us, man. You know what I mean? To me, we're the first family of wrestling. Nobody else can't touch us.
Okay, so Young Rock, I think, exposed that even more so. When I watch Young Rock, which obviously they hinted out with you and Dwayne potentially in a future WrestleMania, you guys were wrestling in a living room and about to get after it, and they pause, and The Rock's character looks and goes, "That's for WrestleMania, kid," basically said that. It was like a tease, we're going to get it, we're going to go get it. But what I learned through that, and then obviously every other documentary, and then when you guys were doing the Bloodline angle, and they put that tree up there, why do you think the Usos have been such a great professional wrestling kind of group of people? Like, why do you think it is kind of in your guys' blood, like, actually? Because if you look at the history of the entire industry, Usos throughout all of it, it feels like that is kind of a, why is that? Do we know the exact, like, beginnings of it all or how we got there?
I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, I'm going to learn you right now. We're just great athletes, first of all. I mean, that just, there's got to be, you guys might know, there's got to be some kind of Polynesian percentage for the NFL and even other sports, but especially the NFL. I think there's got to be some crazy percentage of men that make it to the NFL that are Polynesian. So the athletic size, and we're big, so you have to, that all works. But within our culture, it's surrounded around storytelling. When you grow up on an island, you know what I mean? There's not that much to do. So you have to be able to entertain each other and you have to be able to tell stories. And that's how all, like, indigenous cultures, people, ancient people, that's how you keep the information, is these stories and these myths. And you can't be up there in front of the fire, like, owning it with a boring story. You got to be able to, you know what I mean? You got to be able to spin it. You got to be able to tell that story and be an orator. And we actually have them. You have high chiefs, you have Matais and speaking chiefs within our culture. So it's built in. So I just think it's a perfect recipe of the genetics that God has given us, as Islanders and Polynesian Samoans. And then just our history and our culture and the customs of our people and being on the islands and just having that communal, gathering and just sharing these stories about our history and our ancestors. And it's all the way here in modern day, and we're just doing a weird WWE way now.
No, it's not weird at all. It's beautiful, actually. That was awesome to hear. You're actually born for it.
Yeah.
Isn't that a crazy thing? Actually born for it. And the way you tell it, it makes so much sense. Well, we'll see if tomorrow continues to add to that incredible family bloodline legacy. And we'll be watching 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Unlimited. Our tribal chief, fresh out of a 3-a-day fight camp.
Hell yeah.
Right into the Royal Rumble. We appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Same, bro. Always. Thanks, man.
Hey, Seahawks might be running that NFC West for like the next 10 years, bro.
When you're the dynasty, when you're one of the dynasties, you know what I mean? We gotta share the wealth. And what happened? We were down for like 2 years, and we were back in 5. I'm not worried about the Niners. The culture between Lynch and Shanahan, the coach, we're killers over there. We have like 50 injuries and still went as far as we did.
Yeah.
We got to get that conspiracy stuff figured out, though. We need to get that power plant shut. Whatever it is, we need to shake and bake and move that stuff or get that. I don't know. Something's got to happen. We need to look into this.
I'll tell you that, and you know this as the always aware tribal chief that you are. The other side's going to have an argument. That electric company, they are going to have an argument in this entire thing. There's no way we're going to get a good study. This study's going to take 20 years to get done. Mm-hmm. You know how that goes.
Bunch of power companies out there. Whole bunch of power companies out there. Only one Niners, baby. They got to remember that. Hey, Santa Clara. We'll go back to San Francisco. We need to figure this out now. Like, support the team, the local team now. You know how it is.
Yeah, let's win. Okay, Niner gang. All right, well, I appreciate the hell out of you, man. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, brother.
Safe travels back to America. Our tribal chief, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns.
Hey, Roman.